see no reason why a trans woman couldn't be a father. I'm still her father. I'm just a woman and a dad.
If my dad had never transitioned, I probably would not have come out.
My boobs are a 42 double J. There are always haters. I'm not dressing this way to blend in. I sometimes wonder if I want to go bigger. My name is Maxine. I am a transgender woman, and I am a veteran of the United States Air Force. Honestly, don't have very fond memories of my experiences there. I was in a culture that did not accept me. The way they wanted their men to behave was very specific, and I was not at all that kind of person. I asked myself this question: do I ever want to be perceived as male? And the answer was an immediate no. So these are my hormones. This is a testosterone blocker that a lot of trans women end up on. It helps us increase our estrogen levels, trying to get the T out and the E in.
1.5 years into her transition, and Maxine couldn't be happier with how it's changed her life.
You know, I'm a big girl, so I just down them all at once. It just changed everything in a way that I could never have anticipated. It has made a world of difference in the way I feel.
Oof. Yeah, this person's just mentally ill, and I feel very bad for their family, because as you heard there, they said that the child decided they were gay or trans or whatever after their dad transitioned, and that's just grooming. That's just, unfortunately, their child has been groomed by the trans dad into becoming gay because of this. And I feel like they're just mentally ill. They don't need to be on hormone blockers or having their body mutilated or gender affirming care, because they're just mentally ill. They need mental health treatment. They don't need to mutilate their body or sterilize themselves because of this. That's not the solution. And I feel like it's really disastrous for everyone in society to lie to them and to say that they're a real woman, or that they're not anything but, you know, a mutilated freak. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but that is quite true. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it very much is. They are mentally ill. They need help. That is it. You know, you're not a woman. And the fact that you see womanhood as a sexual perversion. That's why you've made your breasts gigantic double Ds, because you only see it as a sexual fetish. You don't see this as something that you actually are trying to achieve womanhood. And even if you were, you're never going to achieve womanhood by getting breasts or making a faux vagina or something like that, because being a woman is not just that. It's not just your sexual idolization of it. It's much more deeply inbred by, I mean, I have no idea. I'm not a woman. I'm just guessing based upon, you know, being a man, you know, but that's the problem, is that they see it as this sexualized thing. And that's the problem, you know? And I don't feel like they should be, you know, accepted like that, you know? I feel like it should be something to be ashamed of. I'm sorry. Bone, are you saying his mental disease is making him want to be a woman? Trying to understand. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. They have gender dysphoria, which used to be something that was part of the, I'm sorry, I'm not a psychologist, but it used to be part of the TSM, blah, 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 whatever it is, like actual mental illnesses. One of them was gender dysphoria or body dysmorphic disorder or whatever it falls into. That used to be something that was considered a mental illness. And it is still, it's just that woke policies now say that it's not politically viable to treat someone like this. But they are sick. Do not get it twisted. Someone like this is sick, and there is treatment to this mental illness. A lot of antipsychotics have a very positive effect on people like this that can make it so that they no longer have these fantasies. Just like in the same sense that someone that wants to cut off their arm or believes that they're a banana is mentally ill, this person is mentally ill because they believe that they are a woman, and that their vision of the woman that they are has gigantic double D breasts. And it's sick and twisted that any doctor who took an oath to uphold health and to heal people would ever mutilate this person this far. I mean, I think it's just disastrous, barbaric. It really is. And I do honestly believe that we're going to look back on today's day and age and see how barbaric it was that doctors did these kind of surgeries to people. This is not right. This is just inherently wrong. You know, this person's sick and you should not be playing into their sickness. And the whole myth, by the way, that, oh, well, if you don't give this person gigantic double D's and force them to be in the locker rooms with other women, that they're going to kill themselves is just crazy. Like, that is actually terrorist behavior, you know? Oh, if you don't give them gender affirming care, they're going to kill themselves. That's like, no, I mean, if your whole argument for why you should be mutilating and sterilizing people is because they'll kill themselves if you don't do that, then that's a huge problem. A huge disastrous problem. I think that very clearly they need mental health treatment and not, you know, radical invasive surgeries. I mean, it just makes sense to me. I don't know. Just makes sense to me. I've seen a documentary about trans people that realized it was wrong and transitioned back and got reverse surgery, saying it was the worst decision of their life. The problem is that a lot of trans people have been dealing with that, with trying to detransition, and they don't talk about that in society at all, about how it's not a perfect surgery to have a sex change. You don't just magically get a God-given sexual organ. You can't just make a penis. You can't just make a vagina. Specifically, when it comes to vagina, it's a very grotesque surgery process, you know, meaning that you essentially have an open wound for the rest of your life that is constantly needed to be kept open in a process known as dilation, where a metal object is stuck into your gaping wound and stretch the wound open, and the smell of rot is currently all around you, because that's what it is. It's a rotting, open, gaping wound that you're being kept from healing. And that's what they call a new vagina. That's literally what it is. And so people have to deal with that, and they have to experience that, and they realize, oh my God, I've been lied to by the trans community, by these doctors that are telling me that I can be a woman. And it's like, you never will. You never will become a woman. The technology is not there. Doctors, surgeons are not God. They cannot just magically create this. That's just it. And when they come to that realization, then a lot of them feel such depression that they do want to kill themselves. And that's where a lot of this suicidality comes from in trans people. Not because they're not given gender affirming care.